And we are live. Welcome back to Being Random. I'm Aslesh.
And I'm Aditya. Nice to have you guys back.
Yes, hope you guys are enjoying the podcast.
Hopefully.
We still do not know.
So I think we have progressed into discussing about what should be the basics one should do.
I think we spoke
Physical
about
fitness.
discipline. We spoke
Yeah.
about the basics of food. We spoke about how both of us got into
Start of
it.
workouts.
And we're slowly progressing into more and more detail or just more and more about our fitness journey, actually. Because it's basically our opinions and our knowledge or our experiences.
I think there are a lot of, I won't say myths, but misconceptions that actually surround fitness, nutrition, being healthy, etc. So I think there are a lot of people who post outside saying that you should have this much protein as per your body weight, etc., etc.
And people getting into it.
Yeah, I'm straight getting into it. So because that was one of the first. It's a very routine question that I get from a lot of clients, and I think when you hear about or read about only what you want to know, you kind of miss out all the other information that is actually required. So people have a misconception that okay, you're supposed to have this much grams of protein as per your body weight one time or two times, and they just go based on that, but they don't understand that you actually have to put in the work, you have to do physical exertion, you have to have wear and tear in your muscle.
Okay, let's talk about the myth actually. Like, I do not know if half of the people are aware of it.
Okay, yeah, I jumped into it.
I think the myth is
I jumped into
you're supposed to eat 1 to 2.2 grams, 2.2 grams being the higher limit per kg of body weight.
So I think as per guidelines, it says 0.8.
Yeah, it says 0.8, right?
0.8 doesn't help you at all.
Yes.
I think the best limit would be around 1 to 1.1.
Yeah, so what you generally read, I think one of the first things when you say how much protein you're supposed to have is have 1 to 1.2 for you to maintain
healthy lifestyle.
And then it says, I think 1.5 if you're trying to put on muscle, and then 2.2 if you're trying to like bulk and stuff like that.
I don't think it works that way.
Yes, it doesn't work that way. I think that is exactly why you're bringing this up.
It doesn't work that way. So I think I've heard a lot of people come and say, how much protein are you having? And I'll say, currently I'm not taking any external source of protein. I'm just having chicken. They're like, oh, you're not? Oh, how can you? Oh, you must take protein powder. That's the first thing I've heard. So I always tell people that it's not mandatory that you have to take a protein supplement. That's the reason it's called supplement.
Yeah.
Right? It's only supplemental to your existing intake. So our goal would generally be that you consume your protein or you get your protein requirement through natural intakes, and that's very important. So beyond that, I think there is a certain point when you can't eat so much food.
Yeah.
And that is when you add on the protein powder as a supplement.
You know, also one of the most funniest things is I think people assume if you have 100 grams of chicken, that's 100 grams of protein. That's another thing that
I think that is,
it's
there.
I wouldn't say, see,
that's because I think
in hindsight, people are not aware of it.
Yeah,
right?
that's
all it is.
That's all it is. It's like if somebody would come and ask me a question about some software, I wouldn't know, definitely. So it's something like that. Exactly. So I think that's something we can
you
look
always
past
keep
and
learning.
move on.
You always keep learning.
Keep learning, exactly.
I think that is what it is. We basically always try to get into it, and one of the reasons how I started learning is I started asking why. Why is it only 2.2? Why is it only 1? Why is it only 1.5? How does it benefit you?
I had a lot of questions.
Yeah, what? You had a lot of questions
from you.
Oh yes, yes. I used to annoy you.
No, it's not annoying. So I think, like I always tell anyone who I work with, I always tell them that if I give you all the information now, you probably cannot make sense of it.
I think you learn with
it's either situation or you need a context.
You need context.
You need a background to actually understand what's happening. So when you physically apply it, and then you see a difference, and then you ask a question, you can actually make better sense of it.
Because you're witnessing the change, you're witnessing the pros and cons, you're witnessing the after effects, you're witnessing the benefits.
The funniest part is a lot of people want the complete information from start to end, and unfortunately, you will end up spending an hour explaining it, and
it doesn't make
they
sense.
forget it.
Yeah, they forget it.
They forget it.
But
because they can't retain it, because it doesn't apply.
one thing that you just said that strikes out to me is people ask me, once I start getting into shape, one of the first questions people ask me is, how much protein do you have? That includes trainers, that includes people who are just getting into the gym, who want to start a better lifestyle.
I think somewhere
and
people...
wait, and till 2 months ago, I wasn't having any protein powder. Not even 2 months ago. Till a month ago, I wasn't having.
We were on all natural.
We were only on. I was on chicken. I'm a non-vegetarian. I was on
Whole
chicken,
foods.
eggs,
We
whole foods, and I was hitting 160 grams of protein, 170 grams of protein with whole foods. And then once we started taking supplementation, we're still eating 160, and that is exactly what it is. When I say 160 grams of protein, the next question that people ask me is, how much do you weigh? Because I'm not a hefty guy anymore. I'm lean, and I'm currently holding a 67 body weight, 67 kgs. So 67, if you do the math, it comes up to like 2.4 or 2.5, right? When you're talking about 170 grams of protein. So this is a curveball to people. And the next question I get is, how you are having so much protein?
I think when that question comes down, I think it's basically about waste management system. Like you talk about waste management in any factory or plant. I think even our human bodies have a waste management. Every food source, every food that we eat does generate a certain form of waste. Okay. And I think your body is only capable of filtering out this waste to a certain level. And that is again based on multiple factors.
So we're talking about absorption.
Absorption and flushing it out of your system.
Okay.
So because whatever your body can absorb, it does. And also during the process of the process of processing your protein and converting it either to energy or using it for repair of your how do I put it, the wear and tear that happens when you exercise, etc. Yes. Every source of protein releases, how do I put the exact word, I'm not able to get it. It does release waste. Let me keep it simple. It does release waste. So this waste stays in your bloodstream. Okay. This is provided. There are again a lot of different factors, like you're not hydrating well. Yeah. Or you are not. You're taking more protein than you need to. Okay. So I'm not here to demonize protein, but there are a lot of people who take more protein than they require, assuming that they will get gains irrespective. They work out only to a certain limit, and that's not true. It's not going to happen. You magically don't become Brock Lesnar or Ronnie Coleman or Arnold just by eating protein. Yes. That comes to my personal story. When I met you, my uric acid was high. And back then, I was eating half a kg of chicken every day, and that was my only source of protein. Half a kg of chicken, we're talking about how much? How much protein is that? Half a kg of chicken. I think 100 is around... 100 is 20, right? No. 30, 32. 100 is 30. 30. So, I'm having 150 grams of protein. Yeah. When half a kg of chicken. No. 100 is 30. 100 is 30, so 500 is... How much is 500? 150 grams. That's what I said, okay. 150 grams. Sorry, bad at math. Okay. So, I got confused. And ironically now, I'm having more protein than that. Yes. Right? But my uric acid hasn't spiked. Right? So far. We still... we need to get a blood work. We need to get blood work done. That's different. Okay. But even the last, 3 months ago, when we got it done, my uric acid wasn't high, and that was a surprising thing for me. Right? So to put it, because it's not just numbers at the end of the day. So it's a little bit more. I'll tell you what. To put it in simple layman terms, if you had the same quantum of protein you're having now, when you initially started to work out, you would have ended up with a very high uric acid level. Also, other problems, kidney stones. Yeah, other problems that would have affected your lifestyle. Yeah. But Now, once you have been constantly pushing your body to the limits, conditioning your body, you have created you have created a system or a way the body functions where it absorbs whatever you're giving it completely.
You're conditioning it. You're
Yes,
teaching it
yes.
to absorb
To
the
function in a
protein.
certain way.
Yes, it's basically, it's like,
Actually, to be frank, let it be protein, let it be fat, let it be carbs. All of them are energy.
yeah.
But your body, if you go with a person who has never worked out, who's always been eating, I can't say unhealthy because again a lot of parameters
Relative.
come.
Yeah.
Who's just been eating
Mhm.
random foods. If you subject that person to a high protein meal,
Yeah.
he's going to have indigestion
Yes.
because his body does not understand what to do with that much volume of protein.
Yeah.
So even when I increase it for a client, I do it over a phase, over a period of
Yes.
time,
Yeah.
and I always inform them that that's the best way to do it.
Yes.
Give your body time to adjust.
Yeah.
And let it function efficiently.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to fast track this, and they say, no, I want to have fast. So of course, blood work is mandatory, and initially, everyone's uric acid levels are good, provided they don't drink, etc. They don't abuse sugary foods, etc. But what happens as we progress forward is, at some point, there is a lot of release of purines because of high fructose foods or
Yeah.
like certain foods like shrimp or prawns. The purines, there's a higher release of purines, then raisins have high purines. So there are a lot of foods like that. I'm not saying it affects everyone. It works. It works differently for different people. So if a person who's been working out for a certain number of years, the functioning of his body is completely different to a person who's never worked out his body and has always been eating junk.
Yeah.
So that's where the misconception is. So a person comes flat off. He looks at a person who's having, say, 2 times his body weight in protein. Say a person's 100 kgs, that guy's having 200 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So this person comes off the bat and says, "Oh, so if I have that much protein, I'm going to look exactly like him.
Yes.
And if I put in the same work, I'm going to look exactly like him." Not necessarily.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's like you train your body, you train your muscles over a period of time to get accustomed to a certain weight.
Yes.
It's a similar thing.
So
concept.
that's what I tell a lot of people that ask me, they're like, I tell them, dude, you've trained your body for 20 years, 30 years, like people my age. I'm saying, dude, you've trained your body for 20 years to absorb a certain amount of food or get used to a certain eating lifestyle or a physical lifestyle.
Yeah.
If if 20 years it took 20 years for you to get to that point, it will take you to at least 20 weeks for you to transition into something healthy. I know it's not 20 weeks, right? But it's just a figure of speech that I say.
It does take time.
Exactly. I'm like, you should spend that much amount of time for you to get into a better lifestyle, for your body to get used to a better lifestyle.
People assume that lifestyle change is like a flick of a switch.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's basically conditioning yourself to live a certain way, eat a certain way, and move a certain way.
It's a dial. I think the choice to get into a better lifestyle is a flick of a switch. We've always said that. But after flicking the switch, it is a step-by-step process. Today you do 5%, tomorrow you do 6%.
I actually have seen a lot of people give up.
Okay.
And that's part of where I step in also, right? So there are a lot of people.
Part of the diet and nutrition coach.
Yeah.
Your duty is
my duties as a diet
step in. Yeah.
So that's where we actually, I think we play a very complex role. A lot of people do give up.
Okay.
So when someone asks me, how long do you think it would take me to become lean or to look good?
Yeah.
I tell them it depends on how much you're willing to push yourself and follow the intake to the T.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, you follow 100%, you get 100% result. The reason is that.
Yes.
So if a client follows the plan, say 100% for the first week, he's going to see a good change. Unfortunately, some people, when they see the plus, they assume it's actually very easy to get to the end.
Yeah.
And they tend to regress.
Okay.
They tend to go back to old habits.
Yes.
Or they'll say, oh, it actually seems pretty easy. Let me go indulge today.
Okay.
So I think the next point that comes in is consistency.
Yes.
If you ask me 3 months
Yeah.
would be a very ideal time for someone to lose weight.
Condition saying lose weight. Yeah, I like how you said lose weight.
Lose
Because
weight. I'm not saying gain muscle, become
yes,
bodybuilder. No, no,
exactly.
no. That
That
will be
that
bullshit.
is something that
That would be
I think a
bullshit if
lot
I
of
said that.
people they do it for 2-3 months. And see, another big issue with the amount of knowledge that we have these days, it also gives you expectations of
Unrealistic expectation.
unrealistic no, it's you're not aware of the entire reasoning, and then you assume you want this, right?
But I'm sure there are definitely some scientific drugs that will help you lean out, and there are
Yeah.
procedures that help you lean out. There are procedures that sculpt. So I
Yeah,
mean, see, there are alternatives, but is it sustainable? Is the question.
exactly, that
Are
is
you
what I was
willing?
gonna
Are you
get to.
willing to go for all these procedures monthly, or are you willing to get these
See,
done? And
the
maintenance is another big thing. My
yeah.
point is, if you're willing to go through so much pain and spend so much on maintenance, why don't you do the same the natural
And
way?
you do realize that, okay, let's
It's
say,
not it's not to demonize
and
people
yeah.
who are looking at the alternative. That's not my intention. I'm just trying to get a point across.
So yeah, the point being is, okay, do whatever method it is, but after the method is done, let's say, I'm just throwing this out there, you get a liposuction, right? Get a
Yeah,
liposuction done. Where that is not, it's not, I'm not demonizing it, but after you get a
I think
liposuction
it's very
done,
common
it's
nowadays.
very
Yeah.
common. Okay, you get couple of sessions done.
But the other common thing with liposuction is a lot of people get liposuction, then they go eat and drink.
I was gonna get to this. After you get liposuction done, you've gone through so much, multiple sessions, so much pain. You've spent so much money, and then 3 months later you put on weight again because your lifestyle hasn't changed.
People don't understand that the body goes through extreme stress when you go through such procedures,
Yeah,
and that also has a negative impact eventually if you keep repeating it.
exactly. So my whole point is, if you're able to fix your lifestyle, even if you want to fast track it, it's a personal choice. Fast track it, but the results stay, right? Okay, now forget about fast tracking. Now we're talking about fixing a lifestyle. You fix a lifestyle, and you know how people come up with 6 months mein shadi hai. I have a wedding in 6 months. I want to get
Okay,
lean
this is
by
a
then.
very sensitive topic. I have a lot of clients who came
No,
to
no, no,
me
no.
like that,
Fair enough.
and
See,
it worked for them.
it works. I'm not saying it
Uh,
doesn't work.
so, but one very, I know it'll be a peculiar case for you to hear. You were asking me earlier about weight gain. So my client came to me, and it
Weight
was
gain or muscle gain?
it was weight gain.
Okay.
Wanted to fill in
Okay.
into the dress.
Okay.
Okay. So I unfortunately I can't take names, so that's not going to come out.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, so that was one of the requirements. So I, like you said, wedding season, that is there, and it was very short, brief period of time. We achieved our goals pretty fast. It was neat. It was clean. It was not something that she ate junk or the person ate junk and gained
Healthy
unnecessary
weight.
weight everywhere. It was
Yes.
healthy weight.
Healthy weight.
She looked good. She felt good. Her skin was shining.
Yeah.
Her hair was proper.
Yes.
She didn't have hair fall. So this is, I think, even if you gain weight, this is how you should gain weight.
Exactly. So I was coming to the point. You have a goal, right? 6 months, 7 months, you get on a plan for it. 6 months later, 7 months later, you have achieved the goal successfully. You're looking good in your tuxedo, you're looking good in your wedding dress, you're feeling good, everything is like that. And then, as you said, people go back, okay, it was easy. I can again get back to it, right? There are two kinds. One is that, and the other is, I've already done so much. How far can I go? We have two types of mentality, and the second one excites us. It gives me goosebumps, like, how far can I go? But
I think the how far can I go mentality is not common,
yeah, it's
to
not
be
common.
frank.
It's not common for sure.
But the part where it is pretty straightforward and easy to do this, I can do it. Again, that mentality I've seen a lot.
Yeah, so coming to it is, you've done it in such a short period of time, and then you have achieved your goal, and 6 months later, 7 months later, you've lost your progress because you have lost sight of it. You were indulging, you were enjoying whatever it is, right? And then you realize again, saying, shit, I've lost my grip on all of these healthy habits that I've had.
People also have to understand that with age it gets more.
Yes, exactly. So Then again they come back to it. Again they do 6 months. Again they see progress, and then they go back. So it becomes a loop, as you said, right? They break it, they come back. They break it, they come
But
back.
eventually, with age, body slowly stops.
Exactly. So
And
my
if you end up having a medical condition, say you have diabetes,
mm-hmm.
it's like related to everything else. You
Yeah.
have diabetes, your body, whatever protein you have, it doesn't get processed,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up your uric acid levels end up spiking
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah.
If you're a diabetic, so again you have to watch. So you can't eat protein. You start getting muscle loss, start becoming weak. You're stuck with the medication for life. Actually, people can wean off the medication. I think I shouldn't go into medical things because doctors will come and kick my ass. But yeah, uh, see, the reason why I'm saying this is because I have a friend who has done it for himself
We've
personally.
spoken about him on
Yes,
the podcast
yes.
already, right? Yeah.
So of course he will join us at some point.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
traveling
Very
right
excited.
He's going to do his London marathon.
Oh, he's done. He's finished his Berlin. We've spoken about him.
Tokyo's done.
He's
Tokyo's
finished
done.
his Tokyo.
Tokyo's
Tokyo.
done.
He.
Good run.
Yeah, we've
Good
spoken
pace.
about that also.
Amazing. He did really
so
well.
he's going for his London now. London marathon. Very jealous dude now.
I'm not jealous. I'm
But
happy.
I'm very happy.
I'm just
for him.
happy for him.
I'm very happy.
I
for
am
him.
definitely not jealous because I don't have any intention of traveling abroad to run a marathon. Because I'm
Really?
happy. I'm happy running in India. So many marathons in India. Why would I want to travel abroad?
I want the medal.
Why
For
would
me,
I
it's the
want to
bucket
travel
list.
abroad to run a marathon?
You say that you're traveling to Ladakh to run a marathon, man.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
not abroad, right?
But you're traveling. If you're in UK, you're basically traveling across the UAE to run a marathon.
See,
Just because it's the same boundary.
Ladakh is a challenge.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
The altitude.
Hmm.
So it's a new experience.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, then go run Boston. You have to qualify for Boston. It's a new
Boston is
challenge.
just a time qualification.
Yeah, yeah.
See, eventually, if I train for a year or 2 more years and I do it properly, I probably could. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
yeah.
I will. I'm
Yes,
not going to
yes,
get
yes.
cocky. Huh? Maybe
No,
I
no.
can't also.
No. It's always
Because definitely age is
you
not in
will.
my favor. But yeah, I can't even complain on that point because
Mhm.
there are a lot of people who are my age and they can
Yeah.
fucking kick my ass.
I know exactly.
And they're really good. And I really that's the point. Coming back to the point where you said people who wanna push themselves further and test their limits.
Yes.
So I was actually talking to an insurance guy today
Okay.
to get medical
I
insurance.
was thinking very random, but
Yeah, very random. So earlier, at least in India, even now, even though you get your insurance done, they have clauses saying that, oh, we don't pay for this, we pay for this, we pay
Yeah.
for that. It's like cars. It's become like cars. So now plastic parts we'll pay. We won't pay for the metal parts, something like that they have. No?
Interesting. Okay.
So medical insurance is somewhat shitty like that. My parents had medical insurance. They were paying a bomb, and these fuckers finally said, okay, I know. And this is just general, huh? I'm not pointing at anybody. And
Not
these
taking
guys
names.
finally didn't let us claim when my dad had a procedure.
Okay.
And then my parents were like, fuck this shit. Why would I want to pay insurance so much money? I can't even claim. And then he chucked it. And they took the top insurance,
Okay.
meaning the
A very
highest in the slab,
end, yeah.
to make sure that
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have to shell out of the pocket. So I was talking to this guy today, and then he said, sir, we have started new. Recently, I think this company started. I'm not going to name the company because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to. So they have insurance where whatever you claim, it's covered.
Okay.
If it's a procedure, it's covered.
Interesting.
Everything is covered, basically. And they have, they have slabs, right? Like 5 lakh
Yeah,
coverage,
yeah.
10 lakh coverage. So they have 25, 50 lakh and 1 crore.
Okay.
Very reasonable, actually, when I saw the premium pricing. I was asking for my parents also, and I said, we were in so-and-so scenario, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, so there won't be an issue.
Yeah.
The premium will be a little high, but it'll work. And then when I spoke to him, the premium was good enough.
Okay.
And they take on 3-year basis also.
Okay.
So I was thinking of taking it, like pay up front 3 years, then I don't have to worry about my medicals. I can just run around wherever
Yes.
I want. Fall down also, I can go, just get a bandage done and
Wow.
be happy.
Get a bandage and be happy.
I mean, I know it's not that simple, but I think it's always important. And this was actually very clearly put forward to me by one of my good friends, Shivaji.
Okay.
he has a very good insurance package. I'm not going to say the amount, but yeah. So he was knocking sense into me, saying that you better get this done.
Okay.
And then he gave my number to the guy and said, "You call him and
Makes
harass
sense.
him." That made sense. So yeah, okay. Coming back to
Very random detours.
yeah, shit.
That
I'm
is
so
how it
sorry.
is.
Yeah.
Why are you sorry?
So coming back
People
to
signed up for this.
yeah, they'll be like, "What the fuck is up with these
Can't-
guys?"
Yes. That's what I was saying. So when you have a short-term goal and you go towards it and you're happy, and then you again get into that cycle, I think people forget that, as you just mentioned, saying if it becomes a lifestyle, or if you start falling in love with it, I think it's about how far you can go.
No,
And
if you fall in love with it, then
you
you're never satisfied.
exactly, I think
People
that is why
see
you said it's a
this
small
is the
amount of
thing.
people.
People have stopped dreaming.
Okay. Yeah.
People have stopped dreaming about things they think they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say people can't do it. They just stop dreaming, and there's an assumption built up in their head that they can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So my brother's there. He sent me a message today and said, "I wanna run a 10K."
Okay.
And he said, "Even thinking about running is scaring me."
Why?
Okay. So he basically, when he came back from the US,
Wait, you said he messaged you today,
yeah.
but hasn't he ran like 42s?
Not my one of my brothers.
Okay, that's why
One
I'm
of my
very
brothers. One of
confused.
my
I'm like,
brothers.
dude, your
Yeah,
brother
okay.
is very
Clarity,
fit.
clarity. One of my brothers.
Yeah.
When he mentioned this, I was like, why do you think it's not possible? Why is it scary? So when you push your body to such a low,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you push your body to such out of shape, when you get out of shape,
Yeah.
when your body can't process good food properly. So if you put whole foods in a person's body who's been processing sugar continuously, he ends up having loose stools or dysentery.
Yeah.
Because his body can't process it. So even when we start a plan, what we do is we slowly taper off the sugars and we get them into whole foods completely.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I say sugars, it's not like I'm giving them rock candy. It's just it's simpler forms of sugar in whole foods,
Okay.
which can be easily processed.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows there are a lot of foods like that.
Yeah.
Available today. They were always available. Unfortunately, people are looking at them now.
Yeah.
Once COVID hit, I think a lot of people got conscious about the health. People suffered through the process. They saw the negative effects it has. And
Yes.
people are more conscious about the health.
Yeah.
So it's completely it's a process. So he knows what I do. But when he said that, I felt bad. Because when he came back from the US, he was in very good shape.
Okay.
He came back, he put work, he got very good, and then he let go.
Yes.
So why did he let go? He thought, enough.
Yeah.
But now, he's getting back. He's back on the horse now. I'm very proud of him.
Yep.
He's putting in like immense effort.
Yes.
It's basically all mental, if you ask me.
Yes.
Physical exertion, yes, it tires you out. But mentally, if you're not prepared, you can't push through. So like we spoke earlier, he flipped the switch.
Yeah.
Now it's tough for him.
Now you dial it in.
Now he's dialing it in
dialing
slowly.
Yeah.
So when he asked me that question, I said, I didn't even think. I just called him. He messaged me. I called him and I said, what makes you think you can't? What is your deadline? I said, how many days? I said, in a month, maybe not. But I know you can in 2 months.
Yeah.
He said, no, my target is August. I said, okay, done.
Dude, forget
We're gonna
that.
do it.
I post on my Instagram all of my runs, right? Every run, I take a photo of me after and I put these stats and I always share
People
it.
assume that's a thing that we show off. No,
No.
it's how do I put it? See, when you post that,
For
someone
me, it's
looks
like-
at you.
Exactly. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Someone looks at you, and at some point, so I've had a lot of people do this. I've been in through my fitness journey for the past 6 years, right? So initially, I never used to post because I was more or less. I used to feel more
Self-conscious.
conscious.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think you lose conscious. Siggu Saro అనేది అంతా పోద్ది basically చెప్పాలంటే.
Yeah.
For all the people, non-Telugu speaking people, it's basically no shame.
Yes.
You get to that point, and I think you stop caring about what other people think.
Yeah.
And when I kept posting constantly, maybe in 6 months, I got like 10, 15 messages.
Yeah.
within 6 months. And people used to ask, how do I start? So that's important. I think if you can have an impact on people's lives, where people who are actually stuck in a certain place can just openly come up to you and ask, saying, where do I start? I'm stuck. I'm so and so. It's not like I charge for these things. My point is, it's just sharing information,
Yeah.
and how that person wants to pursue it after that is their choice.
Yes.
See, I have a lot of people who I don't know who come and run with me randomly.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they message me and then they join me for a run. We run together. So in that one run that we share, we talk about where they are today, what they want to do, what
Mhm.
are their goals. We just generally, it's a general conversation, getting to know each other. And I also sit and ask them why they started now, what triggered them. And a majority of the time, I've noticed that it all comes back to something that fucked them up.
Yes.
So, do you realize the funny part? When a person is happy, he never really takes care of his health. It's somehow it's become like that.
Yeah.
But I feel you should take care of your health even when you're happy.
Yes.
A lot of people, when they see pain, I'm saying mentally and physically,
Yes.
it triggers them to somewhere better themselves, or they do it to prove a point to other people. But eventually that turns into your lifestyle,
Yes.
and then you forget the aspect of proving yourself to somebody else, but
Hmm.
you actually target, or you look at your own goals, you look at getting better every time. You look at, so you reach A, you want to go to B, you reach B, you want to go
Yeah.
to C. That's
Yeah.
how it is.
I think I relate to that a lot because after a while, it is just you versus you. It's
Yeah.
just how far you can go. And I think I remember one of the first things I told you is I want to see myself at its natural physical peak by the time I'm 30. Because after 30, I know it's not attainable to a certain level.
Leave 30. I know 17-year-olds who can't do it.
Yeah. So after a while, that's what it is. And I think, as you said, it's a very mental game. It's very, very mental.
I feel anyone can do it.
Anyone
No
can do
matter
it.
how obese
Doesn't
you
matter.
are, how unhealthy you are, if you start today,
It's never late to
it will
take
take
care
time.
of yourself.
I'm not saying it will happen
Yeah.
overnight. It will take time, but you can get better.
And I think that is what
The
we are
same goes for the same goes for mental health. I don't know why people
only go to
have
therapy when they are sad or when they're
no.
fucked up.
It's leave going to therapy. People have demonized therapy.
Oh yeah.
So if you are going to therapy, they use a word called mental.
Yes. There's
Mental is
something
just
wrong with you. That is
mental is
what.
just a
Yeah.
state of mind. It has nothing to do with you having a condition.
Yeah. I do not know why people don't understand that you just taking care of yourself on a regular basis is gonna keep you happy. Yes, for you, as you said, for you to realize that sometimes you coming from a fucked up place, it because the fucked up place is a reminder that you're not happy. It gives you the reality check saying, dude, you're doing something wrong.
I don't
You
want to
should
sound
fix.
I don't want to sound like a hypocrite,
Okay.
but there was a point when I also was completely demonizing therapy.
Okay.
I'll be frank about it. So for a very long time, I knew I needed help, but I didn't think therapy would help.
Yeah.
Because see, what does a third person? What does he think that therapy is? Or just talking to someone.
Hmm.
See, I think this is what therapy is. In earlier days, we used to have friends, at least that one good friend or family who was always beside you.
Sitting under a
Yeah, we
banyan
were all
tree.
close knit. Yeah, banyan tree. You just sit and you talk rubbish. And you used to handle your stress that way.
Yeah.
You used to share. It's not that you needed an opinion, but you used to share. They will share their opinion. Whether you take it or not is secondary.
You laugh about
But you
it.
laugh about it and it goes out of your mind,
Yeah.
and at least you find a solution for it or you move forward.
Yes.
So in today's date, we are so fast tracked, we don't have time for that.
Hmm.
Everyone is running behind money. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's a very good thing. Please
Yeah.
run behind money. But you end up with a lot of baggage
Yes.
through the process. Someone would have cheated you, or maybe your wife hit you. Okay, let me not go there. So a lot of scenarios like that. Okay. So,
the two topics that you picked
okay.
extremes.
So a lot of scenarios like that, right? So in today's date, a lot of people feel ashamed to share these things.
Hmm.
So people don't want to share with family.
Yeah.
It could be something as shitty as, see, I've read certain messages where, oh, it's shitty. I mean, even if I say it now, people will be like cringe. A certain scenario where a person got married and his recently married, the wife is very beautiful, very young, the guy is very successful, he earns a shitload. He walks in one day back home and his wife is there with someone else who he knows and sees on a daily basis.
Yeah.
What do you do? In that scenario, you can't talk to family. You are so. Actually, you didn't do anything wrong.
You're
But
put in
your
a
mind,
fucked up place.
because of society, not to blame society again, but yes, because of society or the way society thinks, you unfortunately do not want to share that with anybody. Because the first concept you have in mind is you're going to be judged.
Yeah.
Now, who do you go share it with? Nobody.
And also when
now, what happens? That baggage stays with you. You get
Yeah.
eaten up from inside out.
Yeah.
You cannot function properly. Whereas the two people who did the shitty things, they're happy. You'll send one person this side, you'll send one person that side. They both are happy. You're only suffering in the middle.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
So it's not about closure. It's about genuinely just venting out. And in the process of venting out and talking about the problem, you actually find a solution for yourself. That's what therapy is, as far as I know. I mean, my clear understanding of therapy is that I was in a very bad place. My sessions with my therapist genuinely helped me because it was just the first two sessions I was just ranting and ranting about the same thing. My therapist didn't utter a word.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay. And you do also think, they're just saying, okay, how does it help? Unfortunately, it's a process and it does help.
Yes, I think that is why we'll have an episode very dedicatedly talking about mental health
Yeah.
and also therapy, because
think-
both of us have been to therapy and both of us understand how it has helped us.
It's one of
And
the
we
reasons.
can go in a little bit more detail.
It's one of the reasons I love psychology.
Yes.
And I'm pursuing
That's why
psychology.
you're pursuing it. And also one of the I give 50% of the credit of my discipline to therapy.
Yeah.
Right? Because it has helped me stick to things that made me happy. It has helped me understand myself better. Especially on the days when I wake up and I feel so shitty, I feel lethargic.
I think my
feel-
therapist will go to therapy after my session always.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyone will go to therapy after talking to you.
So I've become so. I think it's good in a way, it's bad in a way. I stopped wondering what other people would think when I said something.
Yes.
And the moment something comes to my mind, it just comes out of my mouth. And that
Yeah.
started happening a lot. And a lot of people used to get offended. So yeah, I have a few friends that I have right now, and I'm happy with that.
Yes.
I really don't regret anything. So similarly, when I started talking to my therapist after the first few sessions, I opened up.
Yeah.
So I say something random, and she'll be staring at me. She'll be like this. But she understands it because she understands how we think or the mind works.
Yes.
I think nobody can completely understand the other person, but
For
when
sure.
you understand the context of therapy, it's a place of not being judged, no matter what you say, what you think. You just want somebody to listen.
Yeah.
And you don't want the other person's perspective.
Mhm.
You just want to put out what you are feeling, what you're thinking. And I feel only when you do that, you clearly understand what it is exactly you're going.
Yes. We should go in detail, I think.
Definitely. This is a
Once.
very deep topic.
Yes, we shall dedicate a full episode to mental health and therapy. And
Okay,
taking
now
care of yourself. Another thing
let's not
that,
sidetrack. Okay,
yes,
let's get
let's
back.
talk about
Topic
another
at hand.
myth that people always think. Protein. You eat protein, you'll build muscle. You become Arnold, or you become Ronnie
Two
Coleman.
names we know. Hey, okay, let's bring in Jay Cutler also.
Jay Cutler. You become.
High grain.
Yeah, you become what? Sebum.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot Siva.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god, a
know
lot of people are going to
sebum.
be offended, man.
But yes, you become all of the. You just eat protein, you become. And another thing that especially with women, right? They lift weights and they assume that they've built so much muscle.
You're
They're
being
gonna
sexist.
No. It's a thing that I think.
I don't
it's
think
not
all
about-
women do that.
No, not a lot of women. I said.
You said women.
Especially with women. Especially with
Yeah,
women.
that's
I'm not
still
being,
sexist.
okay, fine. I'm not being sexist. It's a thing that.
It's okay, yeah. You can be. It's fine.
Okay, let me clarify. It's
Be
not that-
sexist. It's fine.
I'm not
it's
being
just you.
sexist. That's it's just you. How dare you? So, a lot of women get into shape because they wanna. Let's say they're doing it for aesthetics. We're not talking about health. Yes, health is a byproduct of it. Aesthetics is a byproduct. Both of them go hand in hand. they want to look a certain way. They want to become leaner,
Pompu
right?
sampul kaval basically.
Yeah, basically. And when they say they want to be leaner, and they're like, I just want to lose fat. I don't want to lift weights because lifting weights is gonna make me feel very muscular. And then, dude, most of the time I look at them, I'm like, dude, I spent 4 years of my life trying to build muscle, and I've still barely built enough muscle, right? And you assume that lifting for a week is gonna build so much muscle that you're gonna look
I think
like
in the process of people over consuming protein, you add a certain quantum of fat. That
okay.
makes you look a little bulky, and I think that's the misconception.
And also, dude, you start lifting weights, your muscles start getting sore. You start putting on water,
You
and
add-
and you'll also
you retain what?
you also get a little bit of structure, or you get a little bit of
Have you seen?
hardness.
Do you remember this funny aspect to workouts? Not to say anything bad about anybody. People work out. They go have a sweets and sugar and say have a heavy meal.
my
and
God.
They'll do this.
Oh my god. I just came from Bangalore and I heard something very similar. I can afford 300 calories, so I'm gonna eat a piece of chocolate. That's what I heard from someone. But anyways.
I feel. See, I'm not saying count your calories, but you have to fix a very disciplined structure to eating.
Yes. So
That's all
coming
it is.
back to the eating protein is gonna build your muscle. No, you go lift weights to build muscle, right?
Yes.
You go do
Protein helps you build muscle.
yes, that is one myth that I always. There's nothing. It's as simple as that. We don't have to even go in detail,
Go any deeper. into
right?
that.
You lift weights, you're gonna build muscle, right? And building muscle builds your metabolism. Metabolism makes you burn calories, and also when you have more structure, muscle, the fat, the way that it falls on your body also changes. So a kg of fat falling on a kg of muscle looks different compared to a kg of fat falling on
1 kg
400
of
grams.
fat.
Yeah. So
Okay, sorry.
I think the
Removed.
example that I told is, let's say a guy has broader shoulders, right? And his shoulder has a kg of fat. It doesn't work like that. I'm
Okay.
just giving you numbers so it's easier, right? Compared to a person who has half.
Okay, a lot of bodybuilders will contact us to kick us. Okay.
So compared to someone who doesn't have any shoulder muscle but has fat, the way it just falls on your skin and the way it looks is different.
Different. Right.
Right, a lot of people, my friends who are women, say,
Thing is-
Ashlesh, I want to lose my fat here at your arms, right?
I wish that was possible.
Another thing that I've heard is, Ashlesh, I do a lot of core because I want to lose my belly. So that
Won't
comes to
happen.
another myth of spot burn. Spot
Won't
burn,
happen.
it doesn't work like that. You have to be in a deficit. You
So
get your
this-
cardio in.
I think this is a very frequent question I get from
Exactly,
a
that
lot
is
of
what I'm
clients. I want to
bringing
lose
this
weight only here. So I say it and I explain. I say it doesn't work like.
Yeah,
Your body will choose to lose where it needs to.
exactly.
It
So-
has its own pattern.
yes.
You have to keep putting in the work.
So it's
Eventually,
like,
it'll burn.
It's like, genetically you put on fat a certain places quicker, certain places you put it on.
By the way, I got my blood reports in.
Okay.
Roomba has skewed my health by having all organ meat for 2 months.
Okay.
And my cholesterol went extreme high.
Yes.
And my triglycerides were off the roof.
Okay.
I brought it down to the limits again.
Professional.
me a year.
Yeah, it took you a year. Oh wow.
Me a year.
Congratulations. So
I think that's how I
What?
kind of figure out a lot of things.
Yes, you try it on
I
yourself,
trial and error,
right?
yeah.
So coming back, I think when we talk about spot burn or losing fat, it is be in a deficit, but get your cardio in. Cardio doesn't just mean steps. Please have like an active cardio, a good workout where you're sweating, right? And yes, you can do a walk, but I think after a point of time, it will only help you a certain amount, right? Because I think after all these watches, you get your step count, and oh, I hit 15,000 steps.
See, the problem is, I don't think everybody understands how the body at least in general,
That is why
how
we
a
are,
human body functions.
that is why we are talking about
So
it.
doctors know, and I think it's the basics for them when they do their medical courses.
Mhm.
But I don't think they completely also do learn about this because I think it's a niche.
Yeah.
And if you pursue that line, like into nutrition
Very
or
specific,
dietetics, and
yeah.
I think then they learn in detail about that. But as far as what I've seen is when your body is exerting, if you're walking, the physical exertion on your body is to a certain level.
Yeah.
There is not complete exertion on your whole body, nor does your heart need to actually exert even more, or nor do you need an immediate release of energy.
Yes.
So the only way you can actually lose weight is, one is a deficit. Irrespective, you eat candies also, you can lose weight, deficit.
Mhm.
But of course, please don't eat candies.
Mhm.
Try to limit and have. I think everything in moderation is fine. The deficit is one aspect. The other aspect is moving your body. When I say moving your body, you have to make sure you trigger your body for it to burn your fat sources or fat reserves
Mhm.
to give you energy.
Yeah.
So these kind of movements are what are going to be important for you on a daily basis to regain your health, and like you said, to burn your fat cells.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about that, so they assume that just walking happens. Walking also will give them progress, because initially when they're walking, the physical exertion is high enough to ensure your heart rate reaches that level.
Higher compared to your old lifestyle.
Regular.
Yes.
So now when your heart rate reaches that, after a point of time, your body gets used to that.
Yes.
And it does not consider that walking as that level of physical exertion, and automatically you do not see any more effects going forward.
This is what I was gonna get into. I was gonna say the next thing is people forget they forget that your heart is also a muscle and it also needs progressive overload.
Cardiovascular health.
Yes, that also needs we always keep saying this, progressive overload. That's one of the first things that you hear in the gym, right? And that also applies to cardio. Because today, let's say you do 2 weeks of a 5K at whatever pace was comfortable, let's say 7-minute pace, right? Realistically. And then 2 weeks later, you'll notice that your heart rate is way lower compared to how it was initially. And then you'll either increase the distance or you will decrease your pace. Sorry, you'll increase your pace, right? So you'll try to
either
run at
increase
a
your
6-minute
pace
pace,
or you will increase the distance.
right? So that is
Basically, you
progressive
increase
overload.
the load.
Yes. So
Either way.
at the end of the day, not to complicate it for people who are just getting into it, because it's overwhelming to look at your heart rate, and it's overload information, and that also stresses you out. Simple thing: have a good workout that is challenging enough.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. To input it in simpler terms, I'm not saying go exhaust yourself, because that also can have adverse effects. The point is, if you ran a kilometer today and you found it easy,
Yes.
run 2 tomorrow.
Yes. And another thing is,
Run the same 2 until it gets easy. Then add on one more. That's how it works.
Yeah. One of my friend, I was actually telling, completely sidetracked. Remember, I was telling, I post my photos every single day, and we spoke about how we do it not to show it off. It's also, for me, it's like a diary, or it is also, couple of my friends, they're like, dude, your post reminds me to work out today, or it got me into picking up my lifestyle again. Okay, that all of the secondary. But one of my friends said, dude, I do not know how you can run this much. Like, you're doing 35 kilometers a week, 40 kilometers a week. I think this week we're gonna do a lot higher, probably, hopefully, my personal best this week. We are planning to do 56 kilometers this week, I think, in total. In total. Yes. So mileage wise. So I was talking to him. He's very big into fitness. He's been working out for 3 years. He's in good shape. But he said, dude, I cannot run 5 kilometers in a week. That is what he told me. I'm like, dude, I think you can run 15 kilometers in a week.
I think it's mental block.
Yes, I think it is. You underestimate yourself, and also people hate running and cardio. Cardio it's very, very, very mentally draining. At least for me, it was.
There is a lot of fear when it comes to uncertainty.
Yes.
So if you don't know something, the first thing, general reaction is to fear it.
Yeah.
But eventually, when you talk to people, when you seek a professional's help, you come to understand that it's easy.
Yes.
And it's a process.
So we spoke about protein intake. We spoke about
running.
Running. Cardio is the best way to lose fat.
I think we'll speak about. So there are a lot of people who disagree with us.
Okay.
So
personally, it was a very good way for me to lose fat.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. The way we did it.
Yes, fair enough.
So a lot of people, what they do. So I'll just give you an example why a lot of people will disagree. So they'll go run.
Okay.
They do not change the way they eat. Okay,
Makes
they do
sense.
not change the way they eat. In the sense, we had progressions. So we started off with more simple carbs. We reduced that as we got further. We increased our fibers. We increased our protein sources. We did all of that, and then we reached a place where your body can just process even veggies and protein source as a complete meal on a daily basis.
Yes.
But unfortunately, a lot of people who seek to lose weight through cardio, they don't follow this structured way of eating.
Yes.
They'll eat random foods.
Yes.
So there is a concept that your body is, say, it's as simple as this. Remember the other day you had a piece of chocolate before you went for your run, and you felt like shit
Yes.
because your body immediately absorbed the sugar, and then there was an
You have a
insulin
glucose
dump,
Yeah.
and then it suppressed it, and you felt like shit, but you still ran despite of all of that, and you feel better after your run because everything is stabilized.
Yes.
But for a normal person who does this on a general basis, they eat a lot of food under the assumption that they're going to burn the calories, and they go do their run.
Yeah.
When they do their run, yes, the body does burn the calories. Unfortunately, all the people running, nobody, at least people who are just started running, they don't look at heart rates.
Yeah.
And that's where they end up making a mistake. Now, when I say heart rate, again, it's going to get very detailed, so I'm not going to step into that.
Yes.
So I think that matters a lot.
I think, see, when we say cardio is one of the best ways to burn fat, I think cardio.
There are certain zones you're supposed to maintain in to burn fat.
I think the simplest way is zone 2, zone 3. Please Google it. I think it's one of the easiest ways.
Find it anyways.
Find it. And another thing is, I think people underestimate how much a diet can help you lose fat.
Food is first.
Food is first. I think please, if you're wanting to
basics, simple rules like we spoke about
yes,
last
we spoke
time.
about last
Dump
time.
sugar off, no more sugars, top fried foods. If you're having sugar cravings, just have a little more rice than usual. Enjoy your meal.
Yes.
Once your meal is done, you're done.
Yes.
The traditional Indian meal that we have, rice, veggies, sources of protein like dal, meat, paneer, fish, whatever, it is actually very, very, very good.
Yeah. And
the combination of spices that we cook in is actually very good for our health. The only one concern is please reduce the quantum of oil you use to cook your food.
Yes.
Because more oil does not necessarily make your food delicious. That is also a very big myth.
Yeah, oil doesn't have taste, man.
It is, unfortunately, it is basically a habit that has been created.
Yeah.
It is, I don't know how to explain it. So it's more like, first thing is visual when it comes to food. Visually, if the food is presentable, your appetite increases.
Yes.
So we've always related that more oil and the food looking a certain way is delicious.
Yes.
It's all association. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
So when people initially started having lesser oil in their foods, they used to tell me, oh, it tastes different. I say, no, it tastes exactly the same way. It is just your perception. You just feel that it tastes different.
Yes.
But eventually what happened, once they were on this for 1 week, 2 weeks, the food started tasting better.
Yeah.
And because it's like de-addiction. Even fat is also de-addiction.
Exactly.
People love fried food.
Yes.
When you fry carbs at that high temperature in so much oil, yes, it's amazingly flavorful, but it's not good.
So, yeah, I think we spoke about one of the couple of myths that come to my mind. And you have to lift weights, you gain muscle like that, you do cardio, you lose, try to be in a deficit, you'll also lose fat. Another thing is, I think people struggle with how much carbs you're supposed to have. I think, how does that depend? Because I remember reading it online. It says 3.5 times per 3.5 to 4.
See, I think all this calculation is going to beat you up.
Yes.
So the simple concept would be, say today you're eating food at home.
Okay.
The goal is eat how you're eating. Initial step would be reduce the quantum of oil that you use to cook your food.
Okay.
Simple as that. So eat whatever quantity you want. After 1 week passes, there is a certain level of change in your perception towards food. Then what you do is, from your regular rice quantity that you eat, reduce a little.
Okay, makes sense.
The rest you continue at the same quantities.
Again, we're
Have more
talking about
veggies, have more meats, no
dialing
problem.
it in, dialing it slowly,
The
perfection.
next step is match your rice to your veggie quantity.
Hmm.
So if you're having this much rice, pictorial representation. You're having
Yes.
this much rice, have this much veggies.
For
Is it
people who are
possible?
listening, he's talking about a handful of
Yeah,
rice.
if you're having a handful of rice, have a handful of veggies. Is that possible? Fine. If you feel it's too much, then reduce your rice.
Yes,
That's
it's
how it works.
self-evaluation. It's self-evaluation, and
So,
also another.
Basic steps to follow.
It leads me to another myth, right? People eat. This is what I also used to do. I used to eat how much ever I used to, and I'm like, I started working out, so whatever calories I'm burning there is gonna put me in a deficit. I used to assume that, and I used to be like, I'm eating the same amount of food, I'm burning 300 calories in the gym, so I'm in a deficit. But you know what used to happen for me? I used to get hungry.
Yes.
So I used to eat a little bit more,
Yes.
a little bit more, and then without knowing, I'm already in maintenance. I'm already in a surplus.
So the concept is filling your hunger
Mm-hmm.
with fibrous foods.
Yes.
That's the only reason we eat veggies. Unfortunately, people talk about the medicinal benefits of veggies. Yes, I feel personally very minute. It's very
fills
minute.
you up.
I would say it's just a filler
It's just
as far as I'm concerned.
and also fiber helps you flush it out. Flush out your food.
Fiber helps you build load.
Will load.
So you pass your stool.
A plunger.
Not necessarily a plunger, but yeah, it helps you build load. So the morning, as soon as you wake up, it's like
Yes.
you
yes,
just go.
yes.
You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it. But again, more fiber can constipate you also.
So I think that's what it is, and then all of your supplements and everything are initial. After that, you get into it slowly.
Supplementation, I think everyone is getting their own blood work done in India,
Yes.
which is a very good thing. I'm very happy.
More awareness.
Yes. So I think even the blood work reports, they have the threshold, and if something is off, you probably might not know how to read the values. So you can just go to a general physician,
Yes.
consult the doctor, and they will give you the necessary advice.
Yes.
That is the best way to start.
Another myth that people
Doctors
just,
are always there to help. Please do not ask the doctor to fast track anything.
Yes.
Because the doctor always wants to suggest the best possible option.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the person who goes and says, "Doctor, I want to get well by tomorrow." Then only the doctor says, "Chalo, I'll put injection." Otherwise, the doctor does not suggest it.
So I think another thing that let's talk about protein powder, right? There's a lot of let's say traditionally protein powder. I remember my parents treated it as if I'm doing drugs.
No, it's not bad. Yeah.
And then also protein will be stuck in your intestines.
See,
and
for a
shit like
very
that.
long time, protein has been demonized, and
I'm talking about powder.
yeah, protein
specifically,
powder.
yeah.
People say that the first thought when you talk about protein, people say you'll get kidney stones. It's not true. Only a person with a pre-existing issue in the kidney, or a person who has some genetic issues, organ-wise, will have issues. And when they have protein in powdered form, I think it aggravates it or it fast tracks.
Yes. Everything in your
Because
body is
already your
filtered.
kidneys are unable
Yes.
to process the waste.
Yeah.
So on top of that, you put a load with protein,
Mhm.
which you are consuming but you're not utilizing.
Yes.
So half the problem was that.
Another thing, I know when I started working out, my mom's friend, I think he started taking protein for no reason. He started working out.
Okay, one important thing, since you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Very important thing. Please do not take protein as an alternative for sugary foods.
Yes.
So a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so tasty, it's so yummy." Now they're getting Faluda flavor, kulfi flavor, whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that we have such advancement in technology to get such beautiful flavors. Very happy for all of them. But I do not suggest you replacing your sugary foods with protein. That leads to other problems. Please consume protein responsibly. I didn't think I'll have to say this.
So
Like
I
I'm
think
saying,
that's
please drink
exactly what I
alcohol
was gonna
responsibly.
say.
Yeah.
So my mom was very against me getting protein because he took protein. He started eating. He was fit, dude. He looks good, but he started eating protein and he stopped working out for some reason, whatever it is, and he started becoming
Then
chubby.
the reasons are obvious.
Exactly, the reasons are obvious, but
The excess calories he's having is
Yes.
getting converted to fat. As
Exactly.
simple as that.
but you know, that's another thing. As you said, do not abuse that protein, please.
Yeah. People
Please
abuse.
initially try to get most of your protein through whole foods. It's gonna change your life the way that you get.
Even I would say the same for pre-workouts also.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are going to kick my ass for this, but reality is that why would you need a pre-workout? Uh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you wake up, you're groggy. Yes, I understand. I mean, you're
Yes.
tired. You need that extra boost in the morning. Have a coffee. I think a lot of people don't drink black coffee,
See,
so they prefer to go for even a normal coffee
pre-workouts.
works. Even a
Yeah.
normal milk coffee works. It
Yes.
doesn't.
I have a pre-workout that has 100 milligrams of caffeine, and that is okay. And that too, once the box is done with 2 month, I get a 2 month 60 50 scoop
No,
thing.
I have nothing against
I'm not
taking
saying you're
pre-workout.
against it.
The point is, people use it without knowing what they're using it for.
So and then I taper it off, and then I take 2 months off it before I order
I've seen
another
people
box.
faint taking
Exactly.
pre-workout
So,
because
dude, people are coming to me and asking, dude, which pre-workout should I have? And I tell, dude, this is what I'm having, right? I don't want to name the brand or anything. And it says 100 milligrams. It's like, dude, how is that enough? I'm like, dude, it's 100 milligrams of
people have
caffeine.
gotten used. See, traditionally, when I was doing all this bullshit work,
Dude,
heavy
I also used
workouts.
to take
Sorry, I
400
said bullshit.
milligrams,
When I was
600
doing heavy workouts, I was abusing protein.
Yes,
I'll be very frank.
protein or pre-workout?
Protein and pre-workout.
Okay.
I used to abuse both. I used to buy dabbas.
Yes.
And I didn't know why I was even taking.
Yes.
I mean, it felt good. The pump is good. Everything's amazing.
Yes.
But actually, please understand why you take a pre-workout.
Exactly.
What is the reason you're taking a pre-workout?
Exactly.
What is the reason you're taking protein? Are you not getting enough protein through your food? Then change your food first.
Yes. So at the end of the day, that's what I was coming to. Pre-workout, you don't need 400 milligrams, 600 milligrams. You don't need to double scoop it. You don't need to dry scoop it. Dude, people are fucking mixing it in Red Bulls, dude. Pre-workout. I'm like, man,
Okay.
the amount of stimulation that you need, right? So, and then they suffer with anxiety. I'm like, dude, understand what you're taking, please. Please
Leave
understand.
anxiety, then people blame the gyms, overexertion.
Oh yeah, yeah. People get minute heart episodes, serious heart episodes.
There's nothing to do
Yeah.
with exercise. Exercise is unnecessarily being demonized.
So
Physical fitness is being demonized.
So that is what it is. The borderline is please
Misuse.
understand it. Please see that's one of the reasons why we're talking about the myths, and we've not covered all of them as
There's
well.
still a lot.
Right? There's a lot of it which we're gonna
We can
talk
keep on
about
ranting.
it. We
Actually,
can keep on ranting. So, dude, every single thing.
You think we have enough light?
Let me check. We'll be back. One
Yeah.
second.
Because we can keep on ranting, or we can just close it out. Looks good. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. 5 minutes పెట్టుకో 5 minutes పెట్టు ఇట్లా డాక్ అవుట్ టక్కని పడిపోద్ది చూడు 6:40 is sunset time.
Okay,
anyways.
we are back. We were just checking the lighting.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I was saying, I think everything that you hear about online has its pros and cons. Please be aware of the pros and cons, right? I think all of the nuggets of information that you get has its
People don't
benefits.
correlate it.
Yes,
You have to
and
correlate.
you have to make it
See,
to yourself.
everything has a pro and con. Even having a natural source of protein
Yes,
has pros and cons.
yes,
You don't put in the effort, it's a waste of money.
yes.
It is also similar. It has similar effects to having a protein supplement,
Hmm.
but it is not as adverse.
Yes. So, for example, in the starting of the episode, I was telling how right now I'm taking more
Also-
than what.
Also, there is thermic effect of food when you're having natural sources of
Yes.
protein. Your body burns a certain amount of calories to process that food.
Yeah, exactly.
So with protein supplement, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. So, coming back, I was saying that, dude, I'm having more than what 2.2. I'm having 2.5, and then the first thing I say is, dude, I've done this for a long period of time. I'm doing it as a professional. I get my blood work done very often, and I know how my body is reacting to protein. I know I'm using my
I
protein.
think that's the first thing. People have to understand how their body reacts.
Yes. So I have the absorption. I'm trying to get used to even people who have been working out for a long period of time. They don't understand how you should tailor make things for yourself. Please.
And there's also a warning on these pre-workout boxes which says very clearly that
Yeah.
please try half a scoop or a quarter scoop
Yes.
to test your tolerance, and then please go
Yes.
ahead.
And see, everything, all of the information that you get online comes with a, you take it with a pinch of salt because there's benefits, there's also cons about it. It's about picking the lesser evil that picks
Yeah.
for you, cater to your choices, cater to your goals. Pick whatever it is. We're not demonizing anything. You wanna go what enhanced? Please go enhanced if it tailors for your criteria, right? But know the consequences for your actions. I think that is important for you to do your research, right? And also another thing that not more like myths. Another thing that once you start getting into working out, one of the main things that you hear is everyone around you has an opinion about it,
100%.
right? So once you start working
Obviously.
out, yeah,
There's going to be a difference in opinion all the time.
yes, and I once I started,
I think when you come across such a scenario, listen and see if it makes sense.
yes, listen,
I
ask
would never
questions.
say blatantly shun any information away.
Hmm.
I think it's always important to listen. So even when I have people come up and share certain information with me, or sometimes I have people, when I give out certain facts, people come and disprove me,
Yeah.
or they say no, this cannot be true because this is this. Then I ask them questions again to basically understand where I might have said something wrong. So I think we're always learning. So you
Yes.
should never be offended when someone says, "Oh, you're having so much." Either you explain
Hmm.
or you don't have a conversation, but
So
don't
I
get
think
offended.
that's what it is. It's about understanding, listening, seeing if it works for you, seeing if it doesn't work for you, and taking a call accordingly.
Oh.
I think that is the important part about it.
Yeah, and I think today was a beautiful rant.
Rant, yes. I think we're going to talk about more assumptions, more myths in
Yeah,
like the
in the
future
future, yeah,
episodes,
we're definitely going to
especially
be
when
done.
we have context to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think we can specifically pick out a few for the next time, and
Yes.
we'll probably mince that out a little bit.
Yes.
I think a lot of this frustration comes out from a place where a lot of people do ask questions. When you do explain, they can't put it into context, and the reason is because they do not uh, follow the basics, or they do not know the basics. And when you do explain it to them, they just don't want to listen.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, for those who really want to get better, get healthier, I think I've already mentioned it. I'm going to mention it again. No sugary foods, no fried foods.
Yes.
Just avoid as much as possible. Have your regular food at home: rice, dal, rasam, sambar, chicken, egg. Please enjoy
And when it
those
comes to
meals.
working out, have a tough workout. That's
Yes.
just have a
Challenge
challenging
yourself
workout,
every day. Yeah,
and that is
challenge.
going to be more than
I
enough.
think you will get your health back.
And after that, every day you are learning, and you're trying to improve it. You're trying to dial it in. That is, I think, that's how the approach both of us take. Especially again coming to
And
this
also,
podcast also.
if you do have if you feel something's off, please do get yourself tested.
Yes.
And if you do have any medical health conditions, please consult a physician first, a doctor first. Get whatever medication they are giving you, because the medication helps you cope with your existing condition. I'm not saying it's the permanent solution, but yes, at that point of time, that is your only solution.
Yes.
Please address the problem first, then you can start to get your health to a better place. And eventually, once the doctor approves and says you do not need the medication, you can wean it off.
Yes. It's about learning, slowly getting used to things, slowly making your life better.
I feel it's always important to give the utmost importance to what a doctor says.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
reason is because they didn't
They're not-
spend 5 years or
yes.
10 years playing around, right?
Yes, absolutely.
They literally studied a lot.
So I think that is the approach that both of us also take with a lot of things. It's about learning and getting things fine-tuned over a period of time, and we have applied it to the podcast as well. I think the last episode and this episode, the audio is much better, and I'm very happy about
definitely.
it.
And okay, we're losing lights, so I would like to end this episode on a good note. All of you guys out there, get your asses off your couches, have good food, and get healthy.
Yes.
We'll see you guys soon next week.
Yeah.
With a new episode.
With a new episode, and hopefully next week with a guest.
Nicely.
Bye bye.
Oh yeah, with a guest.
See you guys. Bye bye.